KKHT wants you to meet three of the classiest guys in real estate.
I am Chris Kelso, the maestro of mortgage.
I am Rob Cook, the godfather of real estate.
And I'm Joe Orsack, the king of credit swing. And together, we're the Real Estate Rat Pack. Much like us, real estate right now is smoking hot. So whether it's buying, selling, or owning, you need to check out the Real Estate Rat Pack.
They're here to take your calls and answer your questions live. Call now, 1-800-808-5548. And
Mics
now,
are on!
The Real Estate Rat Pack!
Yeah! We're going to start this show off like we did last show.
Yes, absolutely.
You know,
it's just a continuation throughout the week. It never really stops. It just keeps going.
My wife was mad at us. She wanted to know more about the pool, and we were laughing too much. Because she is in full court press for a pool.
Well, I know Brett
like,
Hatfield would be willing to come out to your house and talk more about that pool for you. So.
Yet another thing I'm certain of.
Yes,
we actually are going to talk to him, though, about it, because we are seriously getting a pool. And what a great time to mention, he is a new sponsor.
He's a great new sponsor. That is correct.
That's right. That's
With Down Under Pools.
I think we made him laugh so much last week, we shook his wallet out.
Yeah.
I would concur with you there.
I think he had a lot of fun, though.
He did. And, man, he's got some beautiful pools. Man, we spent a lot of time on his website checking them out. And, man, he's got some gorgeous, seriously gorgeous pools. I'm not just saying that because he's a sponsor.
And just so you know, Joe, you can put a pool in a new house as well.
We can.
And, we have people
Rob,
here can actually help you move.
This is my compromise, Rob. I don't want to move.
And especially, you want to do it in the construction phase before they, build the house.
Yes.
They can go ahead and dig that hole in the backyard.
Yes.
Yeah, that's correct. That way when you move in, it's all ready to go for you.
It's all good. It's all good.
It's not off the table, but Kim has kind of said, if we aren't going to get a new house, then we are getting a pool.
Well, then,
and that was kind of a period, and she's already got money saved, and she's stashing cash on me.
We're going to lose a lot of fodder for conversation, though.
Yeah,
that's correct.
I can't leave any money on the counters. I'm just telling you.
Okay.
And and let me tell you something, Joe.
Gone.
We were talking here because we had some great guests. I'm going to let you introduce you to the show.
Guests.
But one of the guests that we have here actually very similar to Kim. She rules the roost. But I'll let you introduce them first, though.
Absolutely. Some new friends of mine. I want to make sure I get their company name right here. The Real Estate People. Really, really glad to have them on. Names are at least easy. I got that part. I just wanted to make sure that we had your company name right. The Real Estate People, both Misty and James Lucas, and my old friend Askia, who has just arrived in the studios. His limo was running late, so
yeah, we got to talk to that driver.
You just can't get good limo service.
Yeah, you just can't get good limo drivers anymore.
But the subject matter today is from apartments to homes.
Yes. It's a subject we don't touch on enough on the show.
It has become a huge part of the market.
Huge part of the market.
2008, leasing has gone up exponentially. It went up from 2008 to 2009, 25%. And even in a robust sales year of 2013, it was still up 19%.
It's crazy.
Wow.
It's crazy. Well, when you're moving to one of the hottest cities in America, and there's just not
and literally
yes, yes, exactly, and there's just not enough housing on the market. We can't get enough houses to out there to list. I mean, it's just they're gone as fast as they get on the market. It seems like leasing is becoming a lot hotter button right now.
I was talking with James and Misty before the show, and they're talking about the trend is that they actually want to take people from that rental piece and ultimately move them into a home. So let's kind of start there.
Absolutely.
So kind of talk about your process.
Well, our process
and
is...
talk about how long you've been in business and things like that. Let's talk about you.
Who the heck are you?
Who the heck are you? Why are you here today?
I am who my wife says I am, actually.
But he is very well educated.
Today I'm the broker of the Real Estate People alongside with my wife, Misty Lucas, and our office manager, Askia Bell. We've been in the business for 7 years now. In the past 2 or 3 years, when it comes to apartment leasing, we've never seen this before. We've seen 30% price increases when it comes to apartment homes. I've leased at one property for the past 7 years, one bedrooms between $599 and $734. That one bedroom now is between $930 and $1,050.
Unbelievable.
I mean, it's unbelievable. Kids, basic economic system, supply and demand. I mean, when the supply is low and the demand is high, prices are going to increase. now we just need more properties being built. As you see, they're being built now as we speak, which is good for us as agents, as apartment locators. But now we're more than just apartment locators. We're our client's agent in every aspect.
Yeah, you actually had a name change because of that. Because
we had to have a name change, exactly. I mean, we've had some people that were living in apartment homes for quite some time that we've had as clients in the past move into homes, and now they're listing their homes. In the past 7 years of our clients, we've got a couple of $500,000 homes on HAR. You can go by and look at our listings. Just look up James Lucas. You'll see my wife and I. We see our listings there. We didn't want to put apartment search outside of their door because that's what we were in the past. So my wife came up with this great idea. She said, "Hey, babe, let's change the name of the company because we've got a lot of clients that we've put in apartment communities in the past looking to buy homes, and now we've got clients looking to list homes." And so we didn't expect that when we first got into the business as being apartment locators. We just looked at being an apartment locator, putting them in an apartment, and moving on. But now we're seeing that it's a cycle. And so I said, well, you've got a gift of that. So what's going to be the new name? And she said, well, let's see. I mean, she came up with it immediately. And she said, the Real Estate People. I said, babe, that's too catchy and too good. That's not going to be available. And she said, well, let's call Austin and see. She called Austin, Texas, found out that it was available. We LLC'd it. We revamped the whole company, and we're getting a real good buzz about it. I mean, Askia is doing a great job in getting us out in the community. We've already got hundreds of clients that we've put in apartments, but now we're just informing our clients that we've had a name change and that we're going to help them through the cycle of moving from an apartment and getting your credit worthy through Joe's company.
Yeah. What a segue.
Man, let me tell you something. Joe came into our office and he owned the office. I thought my wife was the boss and I was the boss afterwards. Joe came in and said, "Listen, man, I hear you got all of these families and apartments. We're gonna convert them from renters into buyers." I said, "Man, I've got some credit issues with some of my clients. Not anymore." Man, he sat us down and he schooled us from A to Z. I said, "Man, isn't that something?" And so we went from there, and now we've got some of our renters actually involved in his system of getting their credit worthy. And those who get their credit worthy will then be ready to
I like
get into
that
the buying process.
rather than say clean up your credit, say credit worthy, because a lot of times they just have erroneous information on there.
Yeah.
And
the biggest reason why I wanted to have you guys on the radio was that philosophy. I know plenty of apartment locators. For me, it's something I'm passionate about. My company's mission statement is building stronger communities. And for me, there are times and places for apartments. I'm not going to bash on them, just all out. But apartments are temporary housing. Mm-hmm. They were never meant to be permanent housing. In order to build, there's so much data to show it. The strength of the family, the difference between an apartment and a home, education, everything is impacted when you are able to move into that home. And it's something I really, really believe in. So when you guys talked about that, and that was your philosophy of being focused on moving them from an apartment into housing, I was like, absolutely. Because there's a place. I mean, you have those bumps in the road in life and all those sort of things. An apartment is just the right place to be at that time.
Well, the mindset is you're a temporary resident. And the mindset is that you have the pride of ownership once you're in a home.
Absolutely.
And it changes the whole dynamic.
Absolutely.
And that's why a lot of subdivisions won't even allow a certain percentage of homes to be rentals. They're very clear on that. They'll only allow maybe 5% of the homes to be a rental unit.
And you've got different type of renters for different type of reasons.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give you an example.
Talk about the average.
Let's say, for instance, let's go to the suburban area, Katy, where you guys were just right what you were saying. Let's say, for instance, you've got a family that wants to lease a 3-bedroom. 3-bedroom in Katy 3 years ago, $1,099. 3-bedroom in Katy, $1,500.
Wow.
Okay? So you've got a family, like you said, an apartment is good for us now. We might not be able to be homeowners at the time. We get them into the system of leasing an apartment for 12 months, getting them credit worthy, and buying, right? Because they can't buy at that moment. Now, let's go inside the loop. All right, you've got the engineer or the young accountant or the young attorney who doesn't want to buy a home right now. He or she wants to live in a 2,500, 700 square foot apartment. They want to be inside the loop where everything is happening. Mm-hmm. And so they want to do that for 2 years. So we put them inside of those apartment homes, stay in constant contact with them, and then eventually, you never know, they may get engaged or they may want to settle down a little bit, move into the suburban area, or stay inside the loop and now buy a condominium. And so you have people renting for different reasons. Some people rent not because they can't purchase. They rent because it's just right for them at that moment.
Absolutely.
They do have the credit. They are credit worthy, but they're young and they want to be inside the loop. They want to be where it's happening. They want to rent a nice townhome or a nice penthouse and then buy a condominium later on. And so when we go to back to the suburban area, we've got families who are renting because they just can at the moment. And that's where myself, that's where Misty, that's where Askia, that's where you guys come in, Joe and Rob. You guys come in to where we help those families become homeowners in the future when we get them credit worthy and ready to buy.
Well, let's not leave Chris out of this because once
I
they
was
get
Chris
there,
as well.
That's what we take.
Oh, Chris is here.
I was waiting for his wife to come in and tell me what to do and tell me to mention him.
but it is a cycle and it's a process and things. But a lot of people don't understand. Well, I don't have good credit, so I'm going to lease now. But the fact is, you still have to have good credit.
To leave.
Yeah.
To lease.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
And
we
you're
get
talking
plenty
about
of people
before
on
the
that.
show. Actually, is that you had made offers and things like that. You had someone who had good credit and someone who had, excellent credit, but someone offered more and they were able to get that deal.
I've never seen it like that before, and Missy can attest to this as well. Is that
If we let her talk, yes.
she's gonna take over in a little while. I'm trying to get all mine in now.
Rob, you didn't notice, but she pulled off one of her shoes.
I think she sure did. Go ahead.
I think she was going to smack you with it.
Yeah. Thank you for letting me know that.
So true. But no, seriously, it is a cycle, and we have to make sure that people are sometimes knowledgeable to know about how the cycle works. It's so important to make sure that you have your clients well informed, because when you have an informed client, it makes your job easy.
Yeah.
And also something that the real estate people thrive on is definitely top-notch 5-star customer service. And how we can deliver that customer service is that we're knowledgeable in getting our clients very well educated about the process. So literally, we take our couples that just graduated from UT, Texas Tech, whatever, we get them as clients and we start them off thin. Hey, this is what you get your apartment, because something that is really, really weird is people don't understand, like, this is a contract. You can't just break your lease. It goes on your credit. You'll be really surprised to know that a lot of young people don't get that. They're like, okay, they'll be in an apartment and they're like, well, Misty, they'll call me and they're like, Misty, I don't like this about the apartment community. They're making me mad. I just want to leave. And I have to literally sit them down. Hey, no, that's not what you do, because it'll put this ding on your credit and then we'll have problems in the long run. Because as you mentioned, now apartment communities are really wanting to have good credit as well. So it's just very important that we make sure that our clients are very well informed about the process. That's what I like about when Joe came into the office. He helped us, and then now we can pass.
Joe,
it
did
on
you
to
pay them?
You would think.
He just really did an awesome job. But
Thank
then
you.
now you get well connected, because for me, when I pass my clients off to someone, it's very important that I know that they care and that they're really knowledgeable. So now we have Chris as a loan officer that we can filter our clients through.
Well, and one thing I wanted to tell everybody, and what you were talking about is very true. Not only is it important not to break your lease if you're out there, but remember, mortgage companies are going to go out there and they're going to do a verification of rent. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times, if it's an institutional VOR, we're going to have to know that you can legally get out of that contract. And if not, then that either has to be counted against you, or if you get out of it illegally and it's counted and you have a late payment, that then goes against. It's a ding that says, guess what? It counts just like a mortgage late. So then all of a sudden it derails your ability to buy right there.
Absolutely.
The other thing is I thought was very good, as you mentioned, I've always said this, an educated consumer is your best consumer out there. And what y'all provide, I think, is absolutely incredible. It's education, it's information, it's ongoing information. Also, not only when they get into the home or the apartment in this case, but also everything they can do in the steps to move out of there in the future. Or we were talking about this, before the show started. A lot of people also still are real estate opportunity investors.
Absolutely.
Just because they're renting doesn't mean they don't have an interest in real estate. And that's very important to note as well.
Exactly.
True.
Yeah. And tell a little bit about our services. Is that we are the real estate people. We're located off of Westheimer and Derry Ashford. Our number is 281-493-2100. Something that's the reason why you would use our services, we find you a place for free. We actually have a moving company that will move you for free into your new apartment home. And then we'll keep in constant contact with you as well to make sure that you're on the schedule of purchasing at the end of your lease contract.
Interesting that we had that moving company with
Absolutely
us today.
today, but unfortunately what happens is time flies when you're having fun, and we have to take a break right now. So
800-808-5548.
For any questions you have, but stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Such as you, me hates an old immovable object like me, you can bet as sure as you live.
Welcome back to the Real Estate Rat Pack Radio Show with Chris, Joe, and Rob. The crew is taking your calls, so dial in at 1-800-808-5548.
And we are back.
And we're live. Why do I feel compelled to do that dude's voice every time we come back from break?
No.
Because it's such a good voice.
Yes, it
to be
is.
honest with you.
Yes.
Such a good voice. And we're having such a good show. We are learning so much today. If you want to call in and ask a question of our great guest, call in at 800-808-5548. We are here live to take your phone call.
And Joe, since you and thank you for this, you put together a great group today. Why don't you go and introduce our next one, because that was a great segue that they had. Lucas has had a mover, and guess what? He's in the studio.
We have a phenomenal mover. We only, as is historical of the show, we only bring on the best of the best.
Joe, thanks very much. I certainly appreciate that.
You bet. This is Bennie Guidry. Why don't you give the folks a little background on A Rocket Moving?
Well, first of all, A Rocket's been around 55 years.
Just a little while.
That should tell you something.
You
just
guys,
a little time.
Just a little time.
You guys have almost got it figured out.
Well, and what we don't have figured out is not out there yet. All right. We're involved with the residential and the commercial, the industrial, institutional side of moving. We do everything from A to Z. And when I say that, I mean from packing to the actual move to unpacking if necessary. We'll do it in your home, no matter what level it is. If you're going from an apartment to a home, we'll go into your apartment, pack you up, move you out, get you into your new home, unpack you. You sit down and have a margarita during the period. Can't ask for much more.
That is
than
completely
I like
what I'd
that.
be
I think
doing.
we got the right mover here.
I think we definitely have the right mover
I
right
like
here.
where you're going with this.
Thank you.
Because that is totally how I would like to approach moving.
Well, let me tell you something.
I don't want to do anything when I move again.
It's important, though, that you get the right mover when you do move. And when I say that, you need to make certain that the person's licensed, all right, and they have all the proper documents. Someone has to come out to your home or your apartment to survey it, to make certain that they know what you're moving, know the circumstances around moving your items out of one location into another. All of those things are important. If somebody gives you a number over the telephone, beware.
Beware, yes.
Yeah, it's just not going to work.
Well, step us through that process, Benny. Is like, what are the questions that people forget to ask?
Oh, there's a tremendous number of questions. Number one, are you licensed? All right. Number two, you want to know if you're going to get a contract prior to your move. You want something in writing. You got to have something in writing before somebody comes into your home and picks up the first bit of your items. If you don't have those things, you just need to be aware.
So don't hire 3 dudes in a truck guy. Huh?
Well, let me.
I didn't say the other name.
Let me just put it this way. Mover beware. All right, and if you could easily go online, you can check through the Better Business Bureau. You can check through the Texas motor vehicle listings and find out who are the reputable movers out there. Just don't take the first person for $69 an hour, because you never know what you're going to get. You're going to get $69 an hour. And
you know what you're going to pay. You don't know what you're going to get.
You don't know what you're going to pay at the end. So just beware.
And you meant something very, very important right there. I tell everybody all the time is always beware. The one thing that I am very cognizant of is never call up somebody and say, what is your price on the phone? If someone gives me a price on the phone without knowing exactly what they're trying to move, or what they're providing, guess what? It's probably not a service I'm going to be very happy with.
Exactly.
And that goes for real estate, that goes for moving, that goes for everything that you do business in the world. I tell everybody is, while I love technology, I'm a huge Facebook guy.
Right.
I love the internet. I love Googling everything, right? I will still not do business with anybody unless I get to meet them face to face.
That's very important.
That's not only what I provide, but that's also individuals providing service to me. And so I love the philosophy of sitting down and meeting with somebody and saying, if you're just going to get something on the phone, guess what? I'm probably not your guy. But if you want me to sit down and truly do a better job, because, when you're moving, you're bringing people into somebody's home, packing up loved and valuable items.
Chris, you're so correct.
And those are things that you can't really take lightly.
Yeah.
And individuals, who've accumulated a lot of let's say, love sakes or keepsakes over that period of time, want to make sure those are valued items that they're well taken care of, that the individual going in and out of their home are going to well take care of them of what they've preserved over that period of time.
Exactly. You got to just beware of the people that come into your home. First of all, take time and do some homework before somebody just comes into your home and does evaluation of anything. You got to be conscious of what you're doing the moving process. It's extremely important. We have all sorts of tools that we provide to our client base, so the moving process goes very smoothly. That's what we want to make certain that everything happens first of all, in a timely manner. It happens without cause, and if we're human, should something happen, we are there to stand by it.
Right.
And that's important. You've got to have somebody that's willing to take responsibility.
I would absolutely agree. And I like the fact that you said that we're all human. One of the things is, you're absolutely right. It's the ability to step up and say, I'm sorry, I'll make it right.
Exactly.
We're all going to make mistakes. It's
Exactly.
how you stand up to those mistakes that are
Exactly.
the true measure of a person.
Exactly.
I once heard a friend of mine. We were actually at a music concert, but he said something that was rather genius at a very young age that I've always kind of latched onto. We had watched two musicians perform, and they were both just stellar musicians. But from a technical standpoint, one of them had a little bit of a flub during the performance, and it was very minor. And so after the concert, I was talking to my friend, and I said, I think so and so was better. And he kind of took his time, and he paused for a second. He goes, yeah, technically I think you're right. But sometimes the true test of genius is how you recover.
Exactly.
And I was like,
I like that.
Good Lord, that was awesome. That was so profound. And it's true, because you can practice something and get it down and do that. And there's certain skill involved in that, obviously, and do it well. But it's the times when you flub, when you have that little error, the class and the skill with which you recover and rise to excellence again is really a powerful testimony to greatness.
I think I think it's very important on the front end, though, Joe, to be able to, when you go into a situation where you're going to move somebody from point A to point B, is to make certain that you have all the proper equipment and tools. I mean, so that you're wrapping the furniture like it should be wrapped. You're padding it, you're shrink wrapping it, you're moving it with care. And when a client sees that done, a lot more confidence is built at that point. So when we go in, that's exactly what we do.
I would have to imagine in moving, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure is
God,
probably
you're so
an
correct.
overstatement of the year.
You're so correct. You're so correct.
So we got a situation right now. We have a market right now that we have where people are putting their house on the market. They want to buy a new house.
Right.
It sells the first day they have it on the market.
Mm-hmm.
On a 15-day contract.
And they have to get ahead. They have to get out in 30 or 45 days. But their new house isn't going to be ready for maybe 3, 4, 6 months. What do you do?
Well, we have
eBay.
Well, we have the ability to store items for you. In other
that's
words,
where I
you
was
can
going with that.
You can we can take your items, bring them into storage for you, stage them, make certain that they're there when you're ready to go into your new home. That's pretty much something that we do on a routine basis.
You were saying earlier this morning before we got on the air that you had like an 80,000 square foot warehouse.
Our warehouse space is about 80,000 square feet.
And it stays full most of the time.
Yeah, especially during the summer months, it stays full more often than not. But we have a lot of off-site opportunities that we work with a lot of individuals so that we can get their items in the warehouse space for the short period of time.
Well, that's the logistic issues we're having right now, because and of course Lucas is going to attest to the fact that they take a listing, it sells quickly, and all of a sudden, like, where do we put these people? And they have any place to go.
That comes up quite often. That over the past, I guess, year, we've seen a lot of people having to move out of their homes because the homes have sold quicker than they thought they would. There's a lot of that going on. So we try to help out the client as much as possible and offer as many options that we have available to us to them to make the move real smooth.
How fast can you, let's say someone called today and said, hey, I need to get you out here. I need to move ASAP.
Well, that's a little issue. I'll be honest with you, because there's a lot of that going on.
Right.
What we try to do is stage our moves a day, maybe 2 days out, all right? Our schedule, at least 2 days out on moves like that. We can accommodate you, but it's a part of fitting you in.
Absolutely.
How much lead time would you recommend?
Our normal lead time on something like that would be 48 hours.
Oh, that's
So,
nice.
That's still not bad.
Yeah.
At all.
Yeah.
At all.
So you wouldn't take
But
the
we
call.
like to talk to you a lot sooner, because we got to send somebody out there. We've got to send a client, one of our reps out there to do an evaluation to find out exactly what's going on. So all of that's part of the process.
Hey, the feds have found where I'm at, and I need to move pretty quick.
Well,
He need to move too.
We
He be riding with you.
we have a nice new cell for you, and you won't need any furniture there. So.
And by the way, can you pack up the Ferrari?
oh yeah, we'll take it all.
How long can you keep the Ferrari in storage?
Well,
As long as you can pay for it.
But Ferraris have to be driven, so every once in a while you're going to take it out.
That's terrible. Hey, Benny, I want to make sure folks that are listening out there that are getting ready to move know how to track you guys down, to get an estimate, to get a quote, that sort of thing.
Actually, you can call our office. It's 713-748-6024, and we'll probably transfer you over to one of our able relocation consultants, and they'll take care of you immediately.
That sounds good. Well, for everybody listening, we're coming up on the bottom of the break. If you want to give us a call, you can reach us at 8.
Almost did it again, huh?
We've been doing this how long, and you still don't know the phone number.
And see what happens, I'm sitting in front of this screen that actually has the whole number written across there, and that just completely threw me off.
Well, the funniest part was you used to say 800, that's 800.
Don't try this at home, folks. We are professionals. 800-808-5548, 800-808-5548, and we'll be right back after a word from our sponsors.
I won't dance, don't ask me. I won't dance, don't ask me. I won't dance, madam, with you. My heart won't let my feet do things that they should do. You know what? You're lovely. You know what? You're so lovely.
Welcome back to the Real Estate Rat Pack Radio Show with Chris, Joe, and Rob. The crew is taking your calls, so dial in at 1-800-808-5548.
Well, it's so funny I didn't get Chris any coffee, so he left.
Yes, he just said, "I'm out of here." I always thought separating the green M&Ms was enough, but now it's coffee.
This town, they're getting pickier.
I'm sure his manager will be calling.
The divas, or I guess it wouldn't be a diva, it'd be a devo.
A devo, I guess. Yeah, I have no idea. Well, over the break we were talking about this, and we had kind of touched on this with the mover when Benny was talking, that it has become more of an issue, and the folks that are out there that are afraid to put their house on the market just because they haven't identified a house, or their builder is not ready yet. This issue that comes up when a house sells before you're ready to move. Your house isn't complete yet. They haven't finished construction.
Or you hadn't found one.
Or you just haven't found one yet. You've been putting in offers, but other people have been beating you to the close. What happens there? Do you guys deal with that? Can you find a temporary?
Absolutely. Allow me to emphasize on that. We have a lot of clients that actually call in that are referred to us from their real estate agent. This is what makes our real estate agency, the real estate people, so diverse and different from other firms, is that they call us and they say, hey, I got your number from my real estate agent who's put my house on the market. For some reason, she's heard that you can find us an apartment maybe for 6 months while our house is on the market or while our new home is being built. And I'm thinking to myself, how nice of your real estate agent to refer you to me, but I'm a real estate broker and an agent myself. But a lot of real estate companies do not deal with the apartment aspect of the industry. And so we can put you in an apartment for 6 months. until your new home is built or until your current home is sold. We can get you an apartment for 6 months or 3 months at that time, and then you'll be ready to move into your new home. That's what's so unique about our firm is that we do everything. We cover all aspects. And so we're there from really A to Z. Find you an apartment, get you inside of that apartment, move you in, get you linked up with Chris's company, improve your credit.
Well, that would be
USA.
Joe's company.
Joe's company, I'm sorry, Chris and Joe's company. Get you linked up with them, get you credit worthy. After you're credit worthy, then we go home shopping, get you linked up with a mortgage company, which is Christopher Kelso. He gets you approved for a loan, and then we go house shopping and get you into a house. So that's what makes our company so unique and different from other real estate firms.
And just to reiterate what my husband said, James, is that it really, nothing is too big and nothing is too small to the real estate people. Our slogan is where real people and real estate meet, and that is very true to the word, because it's not about how much you're going to get from that deal. It's about how to build a relationship from that deal.
Yeah,
That's
and that's a very endearing statement, actually, is the fact that I do know a lot of agents out there who will deal only with a sale. And they said, you know what, I don't want to, because I don't know if the consumers know it, but the compensation on a lease is rather small as opposed to a sale. So they don't want to often work that side. But the fact is, you said it best. It was very succinctly stated, was that you're building relationships. And the money is a secondary thing. And I think that was a very powerful statement.
Absolutely. And again, I want to thank you guys for having us. You know, you guys
introduce yourself.
And this is Askia.
This
yeah,
is
go ahead,
Askia.
Askia.
You know, my limo was running late today, but I'm here. But yeah, just to touch on that, the real estate people is more than just us representing clients. We offer state-of-art service and experience, and it's more of a family, because we literally are going to take you from becoming the first-time leaser to a potential home buyer. And we're going to walk with you every step of the way. We're going to give you all the tools you need to become a home buyer. And it's not a one-time deal. And like you said, some firms don't want to go that route. They just want to get the big client and get the home and be through with it. No, we're going to take you from point A all the way to point B.
Well, yeah, I want to reiterate.
Building clients for life.
Absolutely. I want to reiterate this. We're in the hottest market in the United States, right? Mm-hmm. The hottest market. And we have 20...
Often said smoking hot.
Smoking hot!
True.
We have, Rob, tell me, 26,000?
26,000 realtors right now.
26,000 realtors. So let me reiterate, we're not at a shortage for realtors that we can have on the show.
Right.
Right? We've got a decent selection to choose from.
Right.
Like,
So-
I think I chased off two after the first goal, trying to get in the studio. Man.
Right.
Right.
The folks we invite on for a particular reason. And what, this was a hot button for me, because in my business in credit repair, I talk to realtors and lenders who will tell me, Joe, I'm just so busy with qualified buyers right now, I just don't have time to focus on the folks who don't have good credit. And for me, that's such a short-sighted kind of mentality to have, because it really is good business to me, and the kind of business I want to support and help grow and build in the greatest city in the wonderful United States is businesses that are focused on relationship building. And that is really what it's about. To deliver quality service is, like Chris was talking about, is not just Google somebody, find the best price, and order. Right, especially when it comes to the biggest transaction the average person will ever make, which is a home. Absolutely. Build a relationship. And so for me, when I get a realtor or somebody that says, I'm not interested in messing with you because you can't buy and you can't give me something right now, that's just an annoyance for me. And I really don't want those kind of folks on the show. I love having people who are interested.
Yeah, worse than that, they just don't call you back.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. I don't want to insult them, so I'm just not going to call them.
And I'll tell you this: we have some renters that are not interested in being home buyers at the moment. But I'll tell you one thing: they're interested in being on the right path of being very responsible people and having their credit worthy, and interested in investing into a real estate property. And so we've got some clients that have A1 credit. Leasing a 1-bedroom, 1-bath, 700 square foot for $2,450 a month, who are interested in investing in a $90,000 to $110,000 home and finding a potential tenant for that home. And we do that as well. We've got some investors that have some investment properties that we put tenants inside of. And so we provide that service also with property management for that investor. So it's all about just being on the right path. I think everyone, even if you don't want to be a home buyer, be a responsible person of getting your credit worthy, and potentially being an investor in real estate, and traveling that avenue as well. Even if you don't want to be a home buyer, be an investor. Purchase something. So that's very important, and we can lead you in that way as well.
And one of the things that's still out there, and it's still prevalent today, and it's still something that holds true, is real estate investing is still the number one predicator of wealth in the United States. If you look at every single one, millionaires, billionaires, et cetera, the one thing they do have in common is their real estate holdings. Is what they do in regards to that.
Warren Buffett announced yesterday getting into another real estate company. I don't know if you saw that.
Yes, I did. I saw it.
I mean, he recognizes that. And of course, he was the number one investor in manufactured homes. I can't call them mobile homes.
That is correct.
But real estate, people have to live somewhere, period. I mean, and unless you want to live with your shopping cart underneath the West Belt and Westheimer.
That's right. And it's still one of the best investments you can make, whether you are leasing your own property and building your equity for the future, or it's something you want to build for you and your family. It's still one of the best investments you can make. And getting back to what Joe was saying is, I also tell everybody is, you want to also build, as we were talking about, opportunities for the future. That's one of the things I loved working with y'all and speaking with y'all about even before the show as well. Is the fact is that it's so short-sighted if you don't talk to an individual about what their long-term plan is and be involved with that individual for the long term. Exactly. It's very short-sighted to say, hey, I'm going to take the money at this short time and run. And that's what you do. You work with your clients. You have recurring clients that come back over and over for those negotiations.
Absolutely. When I go recruit, and by the way, UC Community College just actually asked myself, Misty, and Askia to be the mentors for UC Community College real estate institution there.
Congratulations!
Wow,
Very
we
cool.
accepted it.
Awesome.
We're honored for that. We'll be doing that in fall of this year in August. We just did a presentation there. I want to say on Thursday, actually, this past Thursday, we did a presentation at HCC, the 610 campus, and there were about 30 to 35 students there that we educated about real estate and our services because they're inquiring about a real estate career. And I want to touch on some key points that you just mentioned, Chris, is that right now it is a great opportunity to get into the real estate business, but to get with the right real estate company as well. When you just mentioned that we have renters who we walk from A to Z, for those who are interested in having a real estate career, I always use this analogy here. If I went to Walmart and I gave 50 people my cards and I said, hey, you looking to buy a house and ready to close within 30 days, you're probably going to come out with 0 people that day. But if you go into Walmart and give out 50 cards and say, hey, are you looking for an apartment to lease right now to move in within 30 to 35 days, you probably will come out with 4 to 5 people, and the ones that didn't come out with you will at least be able to refer you someone. Somebody always has somebody to rent.
Or you come out with a black eye for the manager and say, please don't come here anymore.
So if those people do follow you and you do get them into an apartment, well, you know what you have when you put them into an apartment? You have a potential buyer in the next 12 to 16 months. That's what you have.
Give him the mic.
Also have a mover. You'd have to add, I'd also have a mover for you as well, though.
Yes. Like I said, our company, that's one unique thing about us is that we move our clients for free. For the first 2 hours, the moving services are free up on us, on the real estate people. We move you for free with the moving company. Why wouldn't you use our services? And a lot of people ask us to say, well, how do you get paid? I say, well, the company that we refer you to, they beg us to send them traffic. But we will only send our clients to properties that we feel are adequate enough to be able to take care of you once you occupy that apartment home. And so they love our services. We customer service is what we strive for.
And that's what you just got through saying is very important. I can't tell you how many clients every day say, how does my agent get paid? Or how does my agent get paid if I'm referring somebody to an apartment or if they're buying a new home? And and for all those listening out there, especially new home buyers, there are referral services. It's built into the system. It's built into the product, generally speaking. And that's the great thing about it. You don't have to worry about having to come up with all these commissions by engaging with a professional. One of the things I can't stand is when someone sits out there, and we were talking about this a little while ago, Benny and I were, is, when someone calls up on the phone, like you mentioned, or someone will ask you and say, I want to buy this, but I really don't want to have an agent because I want to avoid those fees. Guess what? You're gonna unfortunately miss out on a greater opportunity, which is working with a professional who can walk you through the opportunity, not only today, but in the future, and save you money by knowing things that you might not know.
I wanted to ask that question when we come back from the break, because we're up against a break right now. Can I just go out and find my own apartment? Why should I use you guys when I'm
Misty's
looking
over
for
here
apartment?
shaking her head.
Yes, but we'll have to save it for when we come back from the break.
I got the answer for you, Joe.
She was chomping at the bit over there.
She's like, I want to get on this one right now.
We're going to ask Benny the same question. Why can't I move myself?
I had to be careful because she was waving her shoe at me.
And Joe, didn't we just bend your arm and pop you outside the back of your head before we got on the radio and told you why you should use us?
We'll get that question answered when we come back after a word from our sponsors.
Welcome back to the Real Estate Rat Pack Radio Show with Chris, Joe, and Rob. The crew is taking your calls, so dial in at 1-800-808-5548.
Mic's on!
Mike's on. We're sharing mics over here.
Yeah, our producer keeps sneaking up on this. Mike's on. We're already in the middle of a conversation.
I feel
really
like
funny.
it's like a superpower or something, Mic's on!
Well, let's go back. Let's go back to that question that you posed.
Yeah.
Why don't there's apartments up there? There's a big phone number out there. Why can't I just call it myself?
The reason that you need to use an agency like the Real Estate People to find you a rental is because we know the best deals out there. We are able to guide you and facilitate you through the process where it's less headache, because you drive around wasting gas going from apartment to apartment when literally if you called us, we'll give you at least about one or two options. But when we engage with our clients, we've been doing this for so long, we get a feel for our clients to know exactly what they're looking for, and we send you to the right place.
So
Why waste time?
what's the number one thing that people don't know about apartment leasing?
The number one thing that people don't know about apartment, in what aspect?
And in any aspect. When they come to you and say, I'm looking for a place.
You know what? That is a great question. They don't
I was
know.
looking for a great answer to go with
they
that.
Actually, let me tell you one thing they don't know about apartment leasing. The number one thing is that they don't know what the market is calling for as far as rental prices. That's the first thing. Second thing, they don't even know apartment locators exist. They're like, you're a what? Apartment locator? I can just call my real estate agent to do that, right?
Walk down the street, I'll hit an apartment.
Your real estate agent probably doesn't know the industry like I do when it comes to apartments. But like I said before, well, like my wife just touched on, the reason why you want to use an apartment locator seriously is that when I have an A1 client call me with perfect credit score, making 6 figures a year, and he says, well, hey, I got your number from someone, and they told me you can help me, but I'm tired of looking myself. I need you to find a place for me. I said, well, I could do one or two things for you. I could shoot you to the right property right now and save you a lot of time and gas. Or, because I know you're a smart guy, I can have you ride around for another 2 or 3 hours, then come see me.
2 or 3 days, probably
Yeah,
more like
then come see me, and then you'll really be able to appreciate me, because you're eventually going to find the property I'm going to send you to. You're eventually going to find it, but it's going to take you days to find it. Why not just get you there right now? We also can negotiate your rent. If you call a property and say, hey, I'm interested in a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, and they tell you $1,550, if I call the property, I might be able to get it for $1,499.
Yeah, because you know what it's gone
Exactly.
for previously. You've
And not
just
to
leased over
mention,
there.
not
The
to mention,
relationships with the property.
so we've already answered the question why you want to use an apartment locator. Now, why do we want to use the real estate people? You want to use the real estate people because, one, we can negotiate two, we can negotiate your deal, but one, we have a moving service that'll move you for free as well. You don't have to pay for that service. So that's another incentive that we give you. But we're very knowledgeable about the industry, knowledgeable about the market as well, and it's a free service, and we shoot you to the right property that can accommodate what you're looking for immediately.
James is really good at segues.
I'm telling you, I wanted to ask the same question. Yeah, I got a couple.
Question is, I want to ask, why don't I want to move myself?
Hey,
Why
I got
don't
a
wanna
couple
move myself?
strapping redneck buddies with trucks,
and I got a case of beer.
I just throw them a 6-pack and a pizza, and we're good to go.
Wow, you're in trouble. you are in trouble. First of all, no 6-pack before they pick up any of your furniture. Of your fine furniture.
After, yes,
All right.
Absolutely. Pizza first, beer after.
None of your fine furniture. The best thing about having a moving company come in is that you've got qualified people coming in to move your valuable items, all right, your valuable furniture, your antiques, the things. These people do this every day. They know exactly how to wrap it. They know exactly how to pad it. They know exactly how to load it so that it goes from point A to point B without damage. You know, you sit down and have a margarita with us while your moving is going on and point to things that you need to have done. You know, it can't be any easier than that. It can't be any easier. All you do at the end of the move is you write your check, you bring your credit card out, you pay for it, and it's done. We take your beds down. We set your beds up. All you have to do is put your linen on. Everything's in place.
Oh, you want to see your friends scatter like roaches when the lights come on? Just tell them you're moving.
That's why I won't
There's
buy
not
a
enough
pickup truck.
beer
Yes.
or pizza. There's not enough beer or pizza.
Exactly. I won't own a truck just for that reason.
What's the number one thing that people don't know about hiring a mover?
Well, I guess the number one thing that they don't know is the fact that it comes with a skill set. You know, we've got certain people that provide certain skills in the moving industry. That goes from our packers to our assemblers to our drivers to the people that load the trucks. All of those are skill sets that are necessary, all right, to have a good, strong move from point A to point B. Those things are.
I would also imagine that, and I never even actually thought about it.
So when you buy that new house, he can make it easy. You can sit back with a margarita and he'll do all the work.
I'm telling you, that's the only way I'm going to move, is if y'all will pack it up, all of it, everything, and put it where it was in the other place. Because I don't want anything to do with it.
We do that.
But, you know, I would imagine that something that I imagine comes up, I don't know, for folks that try to have their friends do it. I mean, there's a liability issue when you're lugging heavy stuff around. What happens if a person gets hurt while they're trying to pick up your dresser that's a friend of yours?
No beer for him.
No beer for him. Exactly.
well, not only that, what happens to your dresser after he gets hurt? See, when he gets hurt, that dresser's going to fall, you know, and something's going to happen. So you eliminate all of that by getting a qualified mover to come in and handle your items from point A to point B.
Well, you know, often I've people talk about, you know, I'm trying to save money here. That people try to save money on commissions like that. There's a value. A lot of people go out and buy expensive cars, BMWs, Mercedes, and things like that, because they have a perceived value in that. There is a value in having a quality, first-class job done for you. And,
exactly.
And we talk about that. And that's why we have experts on it. People who are great at what they do, and yes, they're compensated, but you know what? It's worth it.
It is. It is in the long run.
Exactly. And one thing about the real estate people is that we care about our clients. No one cares how much you know until they know how much you care.
Absolutely.
And customer service is something that we thrive on. 5-star customer service. You won't get anything less from the real estate people. You just will not get anything less from that, because that's what we teach. That's our motto. That's our code of ethics, is that no one cares how much you know until they know how much you care. And I think that every smart business individual, the number one success point in your business is customer service. Customer service.
I mean, that's the only thing we have to sell, really, is service. We don't really sell homes. We don't own these homes. We don't own these apartments. We are selling a service.
You know, I've definitely, as I've gotten older.
I get to be the seasoned one.
You're the seasoned one, yes. As I've gotten older, one of my bigger life lessons that I really try to pass on to my kids is learning to value your time.
Exactly.
We all have the same 24 hours a day, and how much value we place on that time really dictates a lot about the course we take in life. Can I mow my yard? Absolutely. Can I change the oil in my car? Yes, I can. There's a bunch of behaviors that I can do, but it's simply not profitable for me to do it because it costs me more to take my time and do those actions.
And it's no fun.
It's no fun, yes.
Right.
I mean, the number one reason why I don't mow my yard is because it's hot.
It's hot.
It's too hot. But, I mean, you know, if I do it, it takes 3 hours, you know, because I'm out there edging and all that stuff. The crew comes in and out. They're done in 30 minutes. And the dollar amount that they charge me versus me doing it's just not worth it. Same goes for moving. Same goes for me running around town looking for a lease property. I don't have time to do it. If I took the time, it would cost me more than it would just to hire someone who's already an expert, because there's a learning curve, an experience curve that you can't anticipate in any project.
Well, and you'll go back right now that we're in an age of computers and the internet, and people are out there getting information, so they think they have the information. But the one thing I always say is that they can't get the experience. I can go out and find that apartment. I can go ahead and find out how much that apartment's going for. but they don't have the experience about negotiating or locating what's the best location for me and for my lifestyle and things like that. God bless you. And so that's the piece that I always talk about when you're using experts, is that, yeah, you can get the information.
I know of no other industry that's required by law to tell their clients that it's something that they can do themselves. We have to do that in credit repair, which, I mean, that's just hilarious to me. Can you imagine the landscaper, you know, Mr. Customer, we're here to mow your yard. Just wanted to let you know this is something you can do yourself. But yet we are required to tell folks this in credit repair. Our clients know that. That's why they're sitting in front of us. Because anybody who's ever tried to pick up the phone and call a credit bureau already knows the frustration, right? Absolutely. I often tell our clients that they are paying us to be frustrated on their behalf, right? Exactly. I hate traffic, loathe traffic. I don't mind driving, hate traffic. For that reason alone, I would not be out driving around looking for an apartment. There's no way. No way. I would absolutely, hands down, no doubt about it, not just a sales pitch, saying it, I would 100% call an apartment locator. I would call the real estate people. And I would say, and shameless plug, I would call the real estate people and say, this is exactly what I'm looking for. I already know what it is. Here's what I want in a pool. Here's what I want and all this sort of thing. Identify that. Get back with me. I'm done. I'm off to the other things I really want to be doing.
We're running about 3 minutes here, so we need to go into our lightning round, basically.
Yes.
Here, Lynn. And so, Ben, let's start with you and talk about what do you want people to walk away from today, and then your contact information.
Well, what I'd like to see people walk away from today is to have an understanding of what's necessary from a quality mover. Number one, you have to have somebody that comes out and surveys your home or surveys your apartment or your building, your office, whichever, so that they have a good idea as to, number one, the equipment necessary, the manpower necessary to give you a quality price, something that you can go for. Also, make certain that you have a written document to secure. In addition to that, our contact information is A Rocket Moving and Storage. We're at 713-748-6024. Please give us a call. Let us be your mover.
And you also can see them on www.arocket.com.
That's exactly correct.
I know that because I've got your card right in front of me.
I hope that you keep it handy.
And James and Misty, what do you want people to walk away with here?
What we want people to walk away with today is to know that the Real Estate People is a boutique agency that can cater to our clients and give them the attention that they need for huge commitments as far as finding a place, finding investment property, luxury rental, or purchasing or selling. We are literally your one-stop shop to handle all of your real estate needs. You can find us on the web. Our website is actually still under construction, but I just want to give it to you because it's going to be an awesome website. It's www.texasrealestatepeople.com. You can also give us a call at our office, 281-493-2100.
We're also on Facebook at Askia Bell, at James Lucas, at Misty Lucas. Facebook us. We're out in the community, folks. So Real Estate People, here we come.
James, you got some last words here.
Well, I need to ask my wife. Can I say one last thing?
Yes.
Give us a call at 281-493-2100. We revamped our whole website. We were apartment search and J. Danner Properties in the past. We revamped it to the Real Estate People to cater our clients even more and coming for listings and purchasing. And, of course, our niche, apartment locating. So give us a call, all of our thousands of clients that are out there, 281-493-2100.
You know, and the one last thing I want everybody to know is when life gives you 100 reasons to cry, show life you have 1,000 reasons to smile.
Wow. Love it.
I think that's really
Teresa?
good and very appropriate what we got out there. That is one we found on the internet. Until next time, we are out.
The question is, who's Frank, who's Sammy, who's Dean, and who's the other guy?
Chris is Frank,
I'm
he's
Dean.
Dean, and I'm Sammy.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
So tune in to the really big show every Saturday at 9 a.m. right here on 100.7 The Word, KKHT.